It's intro time. Shush. Everyone shut up. What's going on, main characters? It's your boy Talks Too Much with Third Party Studios. Welcome back to this, the 98th episode of the Third Party Podcast. It's me in the studio, and you know, as always, I got the boy.
The boy?
The boy.
I'm a boy.
He's a real boy. Unconfirmed. Unacknowledged. We don't know for sure.
I haven't gotten tested
It's
yet.
a they, them for now. We don't know yet. But we got a lot of fun news to get into today. We got a couple of big stories that are looking pretty, like they'll be pretty fun to talk about. One specifically that I am just stoked to cover. But before we do, we got a few housekeeping things to get out of the way. Guys, if you are new to the channel, please consider subscribing. It's free. It's the best way to show your support. The majority of you guys are not subscribed yet. If you could, please consider hitting the subscribe button. Also the like button and the share button. Hit all the buttons. Every button on your screen, max tap it. Just tap it until your phone crashes, and Third Party Studios will be here. We'll be here while that happens, and we'll be laughing our asses off because it'll be so funny.
Just tap that button, eh?
So, Cody, what have you been up to this week? What's news? What's the news in the nerddom?
Oh, I don't know. Just leave it at that.
Just end. All right, good show, guys. Thank you guys so much for tuning. No, so what do
I
you?
don't know, this week has been a blur.
Speedrun?
Yeah.
Just,
Well, I've been drowning in Cyberpunk 2077 again.
yeah.
I've just been playing that nonstop. So like I haven't watched anything or even been like part of the news. Even politically, I've been like backed off. Just
Dude, no shit. Like we're not talking politics right now, but the world is on fire. Like riots.
I'm here for the
everywhere.
ride, man.
Riots everywhere. Missiles swarming over all of the people. Yeah, it's crazy. And I again, not trying to derail into that whole beehive of content.
And I'm just sitting here playing Cyberpunk.
You know, if there was,
Minding my own business.
if this was a political channel, we would have no shortage of content for sure this year.
Oh yeah, there would be multiple streams a week.
Yeah. So you've been playing Cyberpunk 2077.
It's such a good game. 5 years after release.
It took 5 years. Well, what about what's another example of that? We have For Honor is a even better example of a game that actually got way better with time.
For Honor, No Man's Sky.
No Man's Sky, and yeah, I love when Internet Historian broke that down because
Even Fallout 76, another one that Internet Historian did.
Fallout 76. Yeah, dude, a lot of the games
Come out broken.
yeah.
And then are finished years later.
Yeah, For Honor, do you remember the specific issues that started with For Honor where
The
it was
servers.
the servers? It was player-hosted servers. So every single person who wanted to play the game, if you were playing it on Xbox at the time, which was the most, I think it was the most common. It wasn't an Xbox exclusive, I don't think.
I don't remember.
I can't remember either, but your Xbox was hosting all of the online play. If you chose to leave, the lobby closed because your Xbox was the one hosting it.
And if you had shit internet, everyone had.
Everyone had shit internet. Since I honestly think the concept is kind of clever, but I think the idea is smart because I mean, if you have things hosted on the local level, and you have lobbies of only 7 other players, I mean that's small enough.
Yeah, but you're
most
playing
things.
with a guy from South America and Asia. And
Yeah, the obvious fallback is that if the PC or the Xbox gets powered off or the internet's shit, then it just flops hard. But the concept is kind of clever because you don't have to invest so much in your own individual servers. But I don't know. I think there's something there if someone workshopped it and came up with some fail safes and some alternative means of keeping servers alive. Like even if you just had a quick transfer, like this lobby is just relocating to another player's.
it's just quick pauses the game and finds another host.
I think so.
It's like a parasite.
Well, or if it fails, it then defaults to the home server, right? Like try player hosted, then if it fails, it defaults back to the home server. I don't know. I'm not the guy to fix the problem. I just like coming up with
I'm just
solutions.
the idea guy.
I'm the idea guy.
Yeah,
I like
it's fixed and I still don't play it. So
Well, we played it. What was it, last year or the year
played
before?
it for quite a bit there for a while.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. We put a couple of shorts on the channel early on, and we had a couple of fun streams with it, dude.
It's just every time you get into that game after a long absence, you basically have to relearn the whole fucking thing.
You really do, and I played one character. And I played
You
really
played the cheese character, the cheesiest of cheese.
I won't pretend like it's cheese. It was beatable. It was beatable, and I would say it was a low skill character. I think that's fair.
I think you're a low skill character.
Fuck you, bitch. No, man, I've been, on my side of the world, I've been playing, or I've been sitting down and building a lot more figures. I'm looking forward to my first big game of Warhammer 40K this weekend.
Yeah, I went down a Warhammer rabbit hole last night.
Did you really?
Yeah, I started playing Rogue Trader again and started watching a bunch of lore videos.
So I'm running the Harlequin faction is my main. So this will be my whole, my main army will be made up of Harlequins, and I am kind of stoked for it. But I am not looking forward to painting them. Look at that checker pattern. Look at it. How am I supposed to paint that? It's magic.
You pay someone else to do it?
I can't afford that. Dude, what am I, a billionaire or something?
It's called 40K for a reason. So
Hey.
it's just going to cost you.
Hey, Aslan, thanks for joining the stream, buddy. Good to see ya. Doing well. Okay, so the Harlequin, yeah, I'm playing as the Harlequin faction. I just got like two more figures to finish making, and then I'll be ready for tomorrow so I can play. And I'm really excited. I've played with other people's armies, but this will be my own army, ready to go. It just won't be painted, so I'll be at the table with the only unpainted full army of figures.
Yeah, it's the great thing about 40K is that like there's so many avenues to get into it.
Yeah.
Like tabletop, I'm never gonna get into that, but lore wise and like video games and shit, I'm all for it.
Well,
Books.
Well, my friends are just in it for mainly. My friends want to play the game, but they're mainly in it for the making the figures and painting, and
Yeah.
I don't get
There's
that.
even that
all.
hobby where you don't even play. You just make the figurines and paint.
Yeah, and honestly, like you can make a career out of painting these for other people, because then there's the people who are like staunchly against it. I hate painting, and I've kind of started to enjoy making the models a little bit more, just because it's a good way to turn my brain off and just kind of like grind through a few hours if I have some spare time.
Just watch How I Met Your Mother.
Through How I Met Your... Yeah, oh, that too, yeah. I got through 5 seasons of How I Met Your Mother this week and a half. Like, just had it running in the back, mostly in the background. I've already seen the whole
Dude,
show.
that was like within like 3 or 4 days.
That's true. Well, again, I just kind of had it running mostly in the background, and I was just making figures and just kind of grinding out most of this week. But yeah, so Harlequins are a faction. I'm kind of excited to play them. I think my army is good.
You're gonna get trounced.
Maybe what I'll do is I'll look at Facebook, or I'll look at YouTube, and I'll post my army list and invite feedback on the channel. That could be kind of fun.
There you
go. I'd also like to know if you guys watching the live stream back, if you guys are fans of Warhammer 40K, I'd like to know what your favorite army faction is or what your build looks like. So consider posting that. All right, I think it is time though that we jump into our first story of the day. Let's jump into it. We have Tom Felton response to J.K. Rowling gender debate sparks media fury, but public reaction tells a different story. So for initial reactions, Cody, what's your take on like where we're at with Harry Potter, J.K. Rowling? Like, take it whatever direction you want, but
yay, more Harry Potter stuff.
Yay. Well, I mean, how far out from the show premiere are we? Like, we only have casting done. Like, and casting's not even complete yet.
I think the plan is next year to drop a season, but I don't know.
Honestly, if we get flooded with this, I mean, I'm looking at like, what would it be? Rings of Power, right? Like, we had a whole year and a half of media hellfire before the show launched to basically all hatred, and then just grifters and shills who just wanted to absolutely slurp on Amazon for Rings of Power. What an abomination that show is, and we've talked about that before on the channel. So,
well, yeah, I mean, with this show though, it's like there are no huge red flags except for one, and that's the Snape casting. Every other casting's fine. No one gives a fuck about, really.
No, I don't think so.
Some people are like, well, the Dursleys are kind of hot, so they're gonna have to really uglify them, but.
Well, the one other story, so we didn't pull this up intentionally, but there was a rumor going around that they were considering swapping out Papa Aceto as Snape after all the backlash. It's an unconfirmed rumor, so we weren't going to bring it up as a story to talk about, but I mean, it's worth
very bold of them to do.
It would be, but
then they're going to get trashed by the other side.
But that's the thing. The other side is like 10 people.
That's true.
It's the modern audience is so identified now. We have. What would this be? Like culture tested, shock tested the quote unquote modern audience, and we have found them lacking. We have found them to be a pretty small subfaction of the entirety of the media landscape.
Right.
Definitely not worth pandering to.
But with the whole like JK and her one view that doesn't align with the left. It's like I like the head canon that some people have to where JK is only doing this show just to replace Daniel Radcliffe and Emma Watson because they've just shit on her because of this view.
Well, they keep shitting on her. They don't stop. It's like they have no other it's like they have nothing else going on. Now, I'm not actually Daniel Radcliffe has been in plenty. He's I wouldn't say he's been in any blockbusters or any major films that
He's done very weird roles.
Yeah, he's done really out. Yeah, exactly. And so it's not like his career has stopped, but he's really just so recognizable that he's not going to be typecasted in these weird odd roles. But otherwise, how else do you put Daniel Radcliffe in anything without it?
It's like he's trying to get away from the title of Harry Potter.
Yeah,
but it's just not working.
Do you think it's more that, or do you think he sees these like kind of, I don't even know, they're not even really indie projects because all of them have like a studio, like a pretty good studio backing them or creating them. They're just not major films. They're really side pieces, kind of like fill the theater.
I mean, that's what I would probably do if I was an actor. Just go on these more weird kind of movies instead of like, oh, let's do blockbusters that are boring as fuck and you're in front of a green screen the whole time.
Well, especially if you're already one of the most famous actors to have.
It's not like he needs the money.
He doesn't need the money. He doesn't need the fame. He can act for the sake of acting, and if he enjoys the roles, that's probably just I would assume, I'm just making an assumption. Obviously, I'm not a famous actor that everybody loves. But I'm just assuming that you could do whatever role you wanted. You'd probably pick the ones that sound fun or appealing to you, and you'd lean into those.
Yeah. I'd say with Felton, though, like, what else have you seen him in? I can think of two.
I can't even think of two. I think oh, wait, no. Did he showed up in, was it Get Him to the Greek?
Yeah, that's the one he gives.
Oh my God.
He gives them absinthe or whatever.
Yeah.
That one just popped into my head, too. I was like...
It was off my radar entirely. Get Him to the Greek is like the perfect title of a film because there's no other way. Like you see, you have Russell Brand, thank you, and Jonah Hill in your head, and you're like, oh yeah, it's just Get Him to the Greek. It's like that's the movie.
Yeah, he was in that for like 2 seconds, but he's in was it Rise of the Planet of the Apes? He's the zookeeper that abuses the apes.
I think it. Oh man,
is that Rise? Because there's Rise.
There's War, but then there's one in between the two. There's Fall of something.
No. I don't remember.
You're going to have to look that up. We're going to have to figure that one out. We can't leave that that question unanswered now. We got to figure that out. But no, Tom Felton has basically been cameos or minor roles. So, I mean, if he's done anything, I don't even know what the majority of his time is spent on. I mean, he plays the main villain in the shows, or one of the main villains at least in the earlier movies. So, man, if he's getting royalties,
money, so it's like Rupert Grint that plays Ron. He hasn't done anything. He's just minding his own business.
Right. Well, I think he still responded politically to some topics, but
maybe I don't.
Not nearly as much as Emma Daniel.
Rise of the Planet of the Apes, Dawn, War, and the newest one was Kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
For all those that were really stuck on it.
Yeah, Caesar was a badass. He was one badass monkey.
It's because he's played by Andy Serkis. Andy Serkis is goated.
Andy Serkis is goated. That guy is just ridiculous. Okay, so Tom has not been super relevant in entertainment lately, but his stardom, I mean, it's completely impossible to walk past this guy on the street and not immediately know who this guy is. Everyone in this,
especially if you grew up with the Harry Potter.
Exactly, movies. But yeah, that's the thing. It's like your grandparents might not know, but I mean, everyone in your social circle would.
Right.
So I mean, he definitely.
They should have cast him as Lucius, his dad, in this one.
That would have been so cool as a fan casting. And I
don't know if they've already casted Lucius or not. Does he show up in the first? He does, doesn't he?
Yeah, I think so.
I know he's in the second one, but
yeah, no, definitely the second one. He does not show up in the first one. The first one's about like Professor Quill.
But I mean, not as like an antagonist, but like maybe in Diagon Alley or something.
I don't think so. I think you're basically just getting introduced. You don't get introduced to Draco Malfoy until you're at the school.
True.
So yeah, so you don't get introduced to Malfoy till later. So I don't see. No, I'm pretty sure it's just two.
Maybe
because of Dobby the house elf. All right, we should probably jump into the article though. So, Tom Felton response to J.K. Rowling. Let's jump into it. Tom Felton has suddenly become the latest mainstream media target in ongoing gender identity controversy, not for saying anything controversial himself, but for doing something far more scandalous in 2025, thanking Harry Potter author J.K. Rowling. During an interview at Tony Awards, Felton offered a brief and respectful comment about women who created the woman who created the wizarding world that made him famous. That was enough for the media to pounce. In the eyes of some outlets, expressing gratitude is now grounds for cancellation. He's uncancelable. He can't be canceled if he doesn't apologize. As long as he doesn't lean into their. Well,
and there's nothing to apologize about. He didn't say anything.
Right,
Just
right.
thanked her.
Well, I mean, oh my.
And you can't be canceled if you're not really doing anything either.
Well, but dude, how many people apologized and still got canceled for doing absolutely nothing?
True.
Like you bend over to the mob and you just take it. Like that's how most people did that 4 or 5 years ago.
It's like, apologize or we'll cancel you. Okay, you apologize. You're still canceled.
The frustrating thing about this is that most people who are paying attention really understood that, hey, you have nothing to apologize for, don't apologize. And if they keep attacking you, and you're not apologizing, or even if you lean into your opinions and you actually like have some conviction, most good faith people will see that and come to your defense.
Yeah, I know this is something that no one will really know, but Tom Hanks' son, was it Chet?
Yeah, no,
Yeah, Chet.
I know who you're talking about. I don't know if it's Chet or Chad. I thought it was Chad,
It's
but
Chet.
it's Chet. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. He did like a song or something in Jamaican accent, and then he got an interview later on by this black lady, and she's like, "You want to apologize for any of that?" He's like, "No, they can all fucking go kick rocks. Screw them."
I love
And that clip goes viral, and everyone's like, "Yeah, Chet Hanks is awesome." I'm not sure about his dad.
his
anymore,
dad
but-
sucks. His dad sucks. Like Tom Hanks is oh my god, Tom Hanks is a phenomenal actor. He is one of the greats, but he is such an asshole and such an idiot.
I think you gotta be weird or an asshole or just like a non-entity to be a good actor.
Yeah, like compare Tom Hanks, or you know what? Let's use a different example. Let's compare Mark Ruffalo, who's kind of one end of the extreme. Maybe Mark Hamill would be Marky Mark. Would be the two extremes.
Well, Marky Mark and Mark Hamill are different.
No, I know. Mark and Mark is
Okay,
what
are we doing Mark and Mark?
Yes. No.
Marky Mark is Mark Wahlberg.
I know Mark Wahlberg's fine. He's fine. He's actually kind of base. But Mark Hamill and Mark Ruffalo are both kind of deranged and a little bit out of their own heads. Then you compare Keanu Reeves or other actors who are just like in the background or don't lean into the political messaging and just appear to be really good people and just live their lives in kind of a decent way. You have pretty far sides of the spectrum. All you have to do is just not be an absolute piece of shit, and it turns out most people will kind of gravitate towards you for just your talent.
Yeah, you think actors could act like not being pieces of shit.
Well, and I think Mark Hamill, so old Luke Skywalker, is actually not a good actor. I think his voice acting as Joker is iconic and amazing. Outside of that, I don't think I think Luke is in Star Wars and Star Wars is amazing, but I don't know that his portrayal of Luke was actually amazing acting.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm thinking of roles and I'm like, oh shit, that was really good or anything.
He hasn't been in a
Voice
ton.
acting is good.
Yeah, his voice acting was
He was in
fantastic.
King of Kings, which is weird.
Yeah, I thought that was absolutely ridiculous. I was like, okay, whatever.
You don't think he would do something for Angel Studios, but
I mean, maybe it's all a grift and he's just doing it all for money. I don't know. Could be. We'll have to see. Let's watch the video and just hear our boy here talking about.
How does the sort of Twitterverse controversy around J.K. Rowling's views impact you at all, or impact your work on the world at all?
No, I can't say it does. I'm not really that attuned to it. The only thing I always remind myself is that I've been lucky enough to travel the world. Here I am in New York, and I have not seen anything bring the world together more than Potter. And she's responsible for that, so I'm incredibly grateful.
I
he stayed in character there for a second.
Yeah, Potter. Maybe that's just how he says it. Maybe that's like he's talking to his family about his role in Harry Potter. No, I love this guy. This guy, that's a pretty
It's such a simple answer.
Yeah. Well, it's a gotcha question too.
Right.
I mean, the whole thing is designed to pull him into it and kind of get him on record saying his views one way or another. And you know what? Turnabout's fair play. I mean, that's what they do. It's not like anyone in public it's not like anyone in this sphere is unaware of how the media behaves, but I think it's pretty obvious who is good at answering those questions and who is bad at answering those questions when it happens.
Well, I mean, Brie Larson had to learn.
Oh,
She got baited into a question, gave the wrong answer. Internet hated her for it, and then like a few years later, she gets baited again. She's just like, I'm not really gonna answer that question.
right.
Oh, you learned.
She's beginning to believe. She's been red pilled.
Yeah, it's not like the media wants like a good interview or anything. They just want gotcha shit that they can throw on their articles and whatnot for clicks.
Which is frustrating because if it was me on the street and I had Tom Felton in front of me, I would probably want to actually find a substantive question to ask him and maybe even see if there's something. Get some time at asking him good questions. I would want that far more than I would want to try to see if I can pull him into the culture war with a click.
Yeah, like, just start asking him questions that dude in the Holy Grail.
Oh yeah.
Monty Python, the Holy Grail.
What is your favorite color?
What is your favorite color? What is the velocity of an African swallow?
European swallow or African swallow? What? I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm sorry, Monty Python. You were amazing. Truly a generational series of films.
Well, I like how that's the answer that'll get you
Canceled?
viral and canceled by one side and praised by another.
Yeah, I mean, just the most lukewarm answer you probably, and honestly, one of the most factual, because even this guy who's interviewing him, trying to get the gotcha question, he's probably also a Harry Potter fan in some regard. You know, you make an assumption, but I think if you walk down Broadway and you ask most people whether they are or are not a Harry Potter fan, I think the vast, vast majority are going to say, yes, they are a fan.
Well, it depends on their hair color.
True. Well,
If it's blue, probably not.
Even the Harry Potter, even the what is it?
They'd say they're a fan, but they hate JK.
Yes, but those two things are they pretend as if they are exclusionary things. You know, like when the Harry Potter fan club tries to oust J.K. Rowling or get rid of her so she can't come to events or cons or whatever, or talk about Harry Potter. Yeah, you can't separate the two. Harry Potter belongs to J.K. Rowling. When Harry Potter becomes public domain, that is when, if the culture war is still lingering at that point, which
70 years from now.
Well, 70 years. I think it's 70 years after Rowling passes. So I think it's even further out. I could be mistaken.
I think it's when the project first, or when the IP is first out there. It's 100 years after that or something.
I need to re-up on some of that information. I used to know
Superman's gonna be public domain here soon.
Oh, well, you know what? Thank God.
Right?
If there's enough of it, maybe people will finally get tired of it, because I am so over Superman. Oh man, but yeah, we just got a few of his quotes back, and that was like you said, that was a pretty good answer. But now we have.
But if you don't know what the controversy with JK is, you should probably go over to her tweet real quick.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Let's pull that up. That's a good. Thank you for reminding me. Okay, so on June 11th, this was a few days ago, we had someone named Brad comment to J.K. Rowling, "Shut the fuck up and go back to writing books. Nobody gives a fuck about your opinion on shit else except magic." And Rowling had a pretty awesome response. I'll let you read this one back. Do it in J.K. Rowling's voice.
Yeah, no, that's not gonna happen. My opinion on magic is the same as my opinion on women with dicks. Neither are real. However, if you want to prove me wrong, by all means, jump off a roof on a broomstick. She should have added twat to the end of that.
That would have been fantastic. No, Rowling hit hard. I don't know if this is, I think, one of the most aggressive responses I've heard from her so far. I mean, she goes pretty.
She's got to be sick of it.
Well, she goes pretty hard on X and on other social medias, responding to people for the most part. I mean, the Pedro Pascal back and forth that we covered a couple weeks ago. All she really did was change her banner for her channel, or for her, I think it was her Instagram, and it was a really deep, subtle jab at Pedro Pascal. But so she seems to love it. I mean, that I wouldn't engage this much if I didn't enjoy it.
It's not hurting her business at all.
No, if anything.
Having the opinion she does.
No, I mean,
because you had Hogwarts Legacy come out 2023, and it was the biggest or the most selling game of that year, despite all the protesting and the boycotts or whatever.
Right.
And streamers on Twitch were like, "I'm not going to stream it because she doesn't think that men are women and women are men."
Remind me, because you played the game and we did cover this, so I mean, it's on the channel somewhere. but didn't IGN like shit can the game and like give it an absolute awful review?
I don't know if they even reviewed it because of the drama.
Maybe they were participants in the boycott. I thought they did a review and they just absolutely shit on it for like unoriginality or a bunch of other like fairly vague fairly vague reasons. But yeah, if that's your tweet attacking some rando online, I am very, very excited to see how this is going to heat up, because Rowling does X pretty freaking well. I think she knows when to bait, she knows when to hit, she knows when to back off. I think I think her handling her own social media is fantastic. I think she does awesome.
But I like how you can have all the same opinions as everyone on the left, but if you differ on one, you're out of the club immediately.
Yeah, it's the purity
on the
test.
Right, it's so up and down on what people agree and disagree with on the right.
Yeah, even Pete Buttigieg decided to he chimed in on it with he did an interview, and he's like, if you're administering purity tests you can't pass. I love that comment. It was so fun to hear that. But yeah, J.K. Rowling she's honestly so left outside of that one particular viewpoint.
Yeah.
But if you lean into all of the other viewpoints in media right now, it's not even just it's not even just like the most right-wing people who are anti-left views who aren't going to go see your projects. The projects also have to be good, because the middle is starting to leave you as well in entertainment. I think this year will be a year where we start to see as much superhero fatigue more superhero fatigue than we ever have.
Yeah, I mean, it's already started, but we'll really know next month in July.
Yeah, it'll be Fantastic Four, which, have you heard any good news about either project, Fantastic Four or Superman? I've not heard any good news. Have you?
More on Superman, I guess, where Fantastic Four is kind of going into the whole the identity politics and whatnot, where I don't hear anything political really in Superman.
Right. Sue Storm apparently is going to be
she's the leader.
She's the leader.
She's the one that defeats Galactus.
Yeah, fine. I mean, I wasn't expecting rubber.
That's what I'm expecting. So
I wasn't expecting Rubber Band Man to actually take down Galactus, but
he's the smartest man in the universe.
He's the smartest man in the universe, but apparently smart men on TV is incredibly difficult for writers to portray, because they don't have any of those to reference back to.
Yeah, what was it? Gary from Nerdrotic said, we got the two dumbest actors in Hollywood playing the two smartest people in Marvel. You got Mark Ruffalo and Pedro Pascal.
Yeah, that's so fun. Right. So media pushes a manufactured gender backlash against Tom. Major entertainment sites quickly frame Tom Felton's mild response as public disgrace and painted the picture of a man being torn. Holy smokes, being torn to shreds by good, decent folk of the world who were utterly disgusted with him for these comments. And you guys just listen back to it. They were pretty mild, but some of the articles go, Tom Felton sparks backlash after expressing gratitude to J.K. Rowling. I'm so tired of Harry Potter actors failing to meet the moment, and Felton's backlash is deserved. Tom Felton sparks backlash with atrocious J.K. Rowling comments. Dude, it's just, honestly, it's not even... You could make the argument, and I don't know, it's not the strongest argument, but you could make the case that this isn't even comments directly about J.K. Rowling, but instead just that Harry Potter was an amazing opportunity for him, and Harry Potter was the gift that allowed him to have this lifestyle that he currently enjoys. Mm-hmm. He obviously knows who to thank for that, but you could make the case that even if you remove J.K. Rowling from its comments, it wouldn't actually lose any substance.
Yeah. All these articles come from people that are just perpetually online and don't live in a real world.
True. Tom Felton is, yeah. Public sentiment tells a different story. So we got a few comments that come back to Tom Felton. So Variety posted the video, and we have Lucy the Great. Thank goodness someone. Sorry, I'll zoom that up. Thank goodness someone in the franchise learned not to bite the hand that feeds them. Better, well said. And then a few more. Turns out the villain was the good guy after all. What a gracious, respectful reply. Yeah, yep, absolutely. We got one more here. The only person who appreciates Rowling for the life she's basically given him. Strange how the villain lived long enough to become the hero.
Yeah, the guy that played
Hagrid
too was kind of defending JK before he passed.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck? Why can't I remember his name now?
Because he was awesome. All right. The outpouring of agreement and support for Tom Felton and his refusal to condemn Rowling's gender stance continues on and on throughout the thread, flying in the face of the mainstream media narrative of a progressive dogpile on the actor. Yeah, and again, he didn't have any obligation to like participate in your hate campaign against Rowling in the first place, and so if he just wants to take a neutral stance, but at the beginning of his comment, he was like, "I'm not that engaged with the whole thing."
Right. Maybe he's not even really on Twitter.
I mean, I wasn't until like a while, like only recently. So I mean, X is, yeah. I mean, X is not where everyone lives. It's Rowling is on there. Rowling's on there, and she's basically dominating the platform. I think there's really a few shit posters who do a really good job on X. It would be Trump used to. I don't think his. I mean, basically all of his truths just get like seem to get linked onto X rather than being posted.
Truth Social, yeah.
Yep. And then Elon, I think Elon is current champion, current king on X. Dude, anything he posts is just ridiculously viral. And
I haven't been paying attention since their divorce, but
well, it looks like that's milded down where Elon came out saying he regretted some of his posts that he had made. So he was high.
he's severely autistic. So.
I don't, honestly, you know what? I would be pissed off too, though, if you politics.
Yeah.
But yeah, Felton's reply. J.K. Rowling. We don't really have to spend too much time on Rowling's whole debacle because we've covered it a billion times on the channel. Just to summarize it, you have a lot of her actions are really mixed bag, where half of them piss off everyone, and then half of them piss off people who just want decent content and good stories. And then a portion of them piss off the activists who really just hate her for her stance on gender politics.
Yeah. Well, whatever. It's really a nothing burger when it comes down to it. And someone being praised for just mild comments is just the world we live in now.
Right. Just to finish out the article, the irony, while the press claimed Potter fans were tearing him apart, the fans were actually lifting him up. Yeah, absolutely. Turns out the real magic is honesty, and Tom Felton might be the last wizard willing to use it. Aw, that's kind of well said.
You praise for common sense.
Common sense, integrity, honesty, authenticity.
Integrity.
But
integrity.
They got integrity wands. Integrity wands are just made out of...
Don't get all integrity wands. Made of hemp.
We're going to wrap that story up. We're going to say Tom Felton response to J.K. Rowling gender debate sparks media fury, but public reaction tells a different story. An article from That Park Place and Marvin Montanaro. Great story. Well written. Thank you so much for covering it. Let's move on to another story. This one I am actually stoked to cover, and I was a little out of place. Rick Moranis returning for Spaceballs 2 sequel, hyped by Mel Brooks, but is still being written by Josh Gad.
That is a big red flag.
Yeah, tell me
who Josh Gad is?
Tell me a bit about it, because I'm kind of learning a little bit more about. So first off, let me just clarify. I loved Spaceballs and all of the Mel Brooks movies. My big gripe with them is I didn't find them rewatchable. Like I didn't find them as movies I could watch over and over and over again. A lot of people did, so they obviously are rewatchable. It's a me issue. But I did love and really enjoy each of those films. I just didn't find the jokes to have like stay power.
Yeah, I haven't watched all of Mel Brooks' stuff. I've seen Spaceballs a few times,
and that's one of the best ones, I would say. Yeah. I like Young Frankenstein. I think is my personal favorite.
Yeah, I haven't watched it. Everyone praises that, and I still haven't gotten around to seeing it.
Well, it's a really cool black and white. It's a really cool black and white film. I think there's a very small handful of films I've actually watched in their true black and white. But you were going to tell me about Josh Gad.
Well, Josh Gad is an actor, and he's in a lot of Disney stuff. He's a big Disney guy. He's like corporate Disney almost.
Okay.
He's in Frozen, Angry Birds, Beauty and the Beast, blah blah blah. I think he was in. Oh yeah, Beauty and Beast. He played Gaston's gay assistant or whatever.
Oh, okay. Immediately recognize. No, he's the front of my brain every time.
Yeah, I think he's pretty woke and whatnot. So like, if you're expecting Spaceballs to go after like Disney's Star Wars, I don't think it's gonna happen.
And fair enough. I mean, I don't really know if I don't recall any of the other Mel Brooks movies really engaging in social commentary.
Well, yeah, because he stopped making movies like 30 years ago.
Right. I'm just like in 30. Yeah. So I guess you wouldn't expect that.
You wouldn't be in a culture war then.
Right. That is a very modern idea. to be attacking people for what they enjoy and don't enjoy. You
It'll
fucking
be like a parody on it. Like a parody on new Star Wars. I don't think it's really going to happen.
fair enough. I mean, we did get that one clip we'll have to play back and
Oh yeah, the announcement thing or what?
yeah, the announcement specifically. But
when it comes to sequels, especially one that's been what 40 years,
it's been
I don't have it's cool that they're making it. I just don't have a lot of faith in it.
no, there's no reason to.
I don't have a lot of faith in anything coming out. No one's garnered my goodwill in Hollywood yet.
Well, and to your point about how long ago it was being made, I don't even know where Mel Brooks or a lot of the actors we're going to be like talking about for this movie stand. You know, they might all be on this bandwagon. Just because they made great projects a long time ago doesn't mean they didn't get modern dayed. So I mean, each of these actors might have some ammo to fire in the culture war that they want to do.
Maybe it's cool to get Rick Moranis back because he retired a while back too.
Yeah,
He hasn't been in anything in years, decades.
oh well, and I wonder how old some of these actors are now, where they're going to be trying to play like they're going to try to be doing a Star Wars spoof, and because that's basically what Spaceballs is a big spoof on like the original Star Wars movies. And you have a Han Solo character, you have a Wookiee character, you have a Darth Vader character, you have a Yoda character. You have basically them making fun of everything. They have so much source material they can like parody and spoof and make fun of.
Dude, Rick Moranis is 72.
Jesus, that's gonna be one old ass
Mel
Darth Vader.
Brooks is like 98, 99.
Well, yeah.
But he sounded really spry in his announcement. So
Right. Well, can you imagine how excited you'd be if you had the career and the life you had?
dude,
And
at
you got
98, 99, I'd be hoping for death. Be like, why'd you stop taking your heart medication? Because you won't take me yet.
God, take me now. I want to go. No, I'm excited for this one, but here's my. I think I share your concerns about whether this will be modern day. It's the same. We talked about Constantine too when we were covering that story last week, and it was a good story. It was a great interview with Peter Stormare. But if Keanu didn't stand up and push back on the scripts, which again is unconfirmed, we don't have any reason to distrust Peter's like thought process on that. He's one person who'd be closest to that to give context. But if Constantine 2, if they weren't pushing back against poorly written scripts and standing on principle for making sure the movie retained its quality, then we would have another shitty sequel. And there's no shortage of them. But I mean, if Mel Brooks and the rest of the team can hold on to Spaceballs for a sequel, I'm here for it. And if Constantine 2 can hold on, I'm here for it.
Well, here's the issue, and I'm sure the article will say it. Mel Brooks is only producing. Josh Gad is directing and writing, and there are 2 other writers as well.
A team of writers can be a big issue. I wonder why they always lean into teams versus...
Well, at least it's only 3.
Yeah, good, fair.
Some projects have like a whole room full of writers.
Right. And I suppose if you're going to do a comedy, you almost want input. It's like, is this funny? Does this land? I don't know. Maybe... man, it would be to be a fly on that wall would be kind of a fun little thought. But we can jump into the article and let's get into it. So, Spaceballs is coming back with Rick Moranis and Josh Gad, a field of stars, the swell of a grand orchestra fanfare, the inclined text receding into the stellar void as we read the history of Star Wars Legacy announcing a long-awaited project, Spaceballs 2, The Schwartz Awakens.
Which is already a play on
Yeah,
Disney
The Force
Star Wars,
Awakens.
so.
Yeah, so they're already going after it. Yeah, they. I love that they, in the announcement, we should probably, I wonder if the article will just pull the announcement in. Otherwise, we have it. Yep, yes. Okay, it's right there. We'll get to it in just a second. One day after Deadline reported Amazon MGM Studios is heavily invested in theatrical, and they're not holding any content back from their 2026 slate of movies. Mel Brooks announced that the 2027 release of long-rumored sequel to his 1987 sci-fi comedy Spaceballs. 1987, is that am I looking at nearly 40 years? Is that what you were saying earlier? Was that it was 30 or 40 years?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Time flies when you're having fun.
Is that what we were doing?
No.
Is that what we were doing? When was all this fun? In typical Mel Brooks style, the trailer mocks the state of modern movies with the sequels, prequels to sequels and such. The teaser concludes with 99-year-old Mel Brooks wearing a Spaceballs, the sweatshirt. What?
Apparently that was some apparel back in the day.
Talking to the Spaceballs, the lunchbox. Talking to the camera, Brooks will appear again as the same Yogurt who once guided the film's heroes into a great understanding of the Schwartz and where the real money of the movie is made, merchandising. Star Wars makes nearly nothing on merchandising anymore.
Right. Nothing on new stuff. Old stuff, probably.
Stuff, yeah. And we'll just kind of let this cook, but we don't need to have the tune. We don't need to have the tunes running, but we'll read it. We'll read some of it back. So it talks about the prequel trilogy, the sequel trilogy, a sequel to the prequel, a prequel to the sequel, countless spin-offs, movie spin-off of the TV spin-off, which is both a prequel and a sequel, 2 Dunes, 7 Jurassic Parks, 2 Avatars plus 3 Avatars, making 5, 36 MCU movies with 2 different Robert Downey Jr.'s, DCU attempt 1, 2, an animated Lion King live action animated Lion King prequel, 8 Harry Potter movies, a TV series remaking the same 8 Harry Potter movies, a whole streaming service of Star Trek, 7 Alien movies, 1 Prometheus, 4 Beatles movies, and Oppenheimer. Oh my God. I love that they name dropped the Oppenheimer film in this. But in 38 years, there has only ever been one Spaceballs. Yeah. I haven't even seen this announcement yet. This is all brand new for me. So
I seen it the other day.
I am enjoying the hell out of this announcement.
But then the rest of it's just kind of Mel Brooks talking about the upcoming thing.
Yeah. Yeah, he's gonna need some CGI de-aging.
99 though, it looks pretty good.
Dude, he's like his hands are flailing everywhere. Did you see? Like, hold on. Yeah, he's all over the place. He's crazy. This guy is
very energetic. Maybe it's AI. It's an AI Mel Brooks.
Dude, if
Mel Brooks died 30 years ago and we just didn't know it.
It would be kind of funny if Mel Brooks was like, we're gonna have the next 10 minutes. We're gonna do a whole scene and have AI script it for us. Like we're gonna have we got Randy Marsh joining the chat. It's good to see you, buddy. Thanks for joining the stream. Spaceballs 2 has been rumored for a long time, with Moranis saying in 2013 that it might be called Spaceballs 3, The Search for Spaceballs 2, but when that fell through, Brooks said he would like to release a sequel called Spaceballs 2, The Search for More Money. Oh, what a good... Oh,
Search for More Money because they couldn't get a budget to do it before?
No, I'm pretty sure that's a reference from the original movie. I think that Yogurt said that was going to be the sequel name.
God, it's been so long since I've seen it.
Oh my God, I wish I'd rewatched this. Yeah. Even like, dude, they're memeing on us in the interview. Like, they're all their comments are memes. That too didn't happen. Clearly, sequels and spinoffs have been on Brooks' mind, just not his own. The teaser's text crawl ends by saying that in 38 years, there's only ever been one Spaceballs until now. This is factually an error, since there was a 15-episode animated series, Spaceballs, the animated series, which aired in 2008 on G4.
The fuck?
Oh my God, G4. Fuck G4. Aren't they gone?
No, G4 was awesome, and then it came back, and then it was shit.
Oh, right. With Frost? Like,
yeah.
That was the whole
That was the last couple of years, but back in the early 2000s, it was awesome.
Okay. I couldn't remember, because I don't think I was watching G4 back in 2008. And I vaguely recall the name because I think maybe you and some of the other guys were referencing it. Maybe I could be way off.
Attack of the Show and shit like that on there.
That's
where Chris Gore comes from.
Okay, because I definitely heard the name, but then my primary introduction to G4 was with the whole Frost debacle. I can't even remember the whole...
You missed out as a kid.
I definitely did. Oh man, I may have had TV, but I didn't watch. No. While Brooks was heavily touted in this reveal, it's important to remember that he is not writing this second entry. Absent from all the recent hype has been Josh Gad from Frozen, who has been confirmed to be writing and starring in the upcoming Spaceballs sequel. Brooks will simply produce while reprising the role as Yogurt. Can you imagine? Like, you got Mel Brooks and he's being given a script and he's like, "What is this garbage?" to say it as Yogurt. I mean, he'd probably have to lean into it, but as a
what sucks that it's been like 40 years. You got like half the cast that's dead.
Oh, that's a good point. We should
more John Candy as Barf.
we got a lot of the casting confirmed. I'm just going to skim ahead a little bit on the article just to see if they have it, because we had another source that's better for this. So if we jump over to X real quick, we can show all the confirmed casts that are going to be there. So we have Mel Brooks returning as Yogurt. These confirmations come from Geeks and Gamers, who's referencing the Deadline interview. So Geeks and Gamers, we have Rick Moranis confirmed as Dark Helmet.
I bet she gives good helmet.
Bill Pullman as returning as Lone Star. Dude, what if they did like a really deep take reference to like how Bill Pullman is meant to be a Han Solo, and then they kill him off and like in a similar way to what they did in what was it, Last Jedi or Force Awakens, where they kill him off.
It probably would.
That would be such a cool.
What's funny is that they wanted to like have the same like aesthetic as Han Solo when they made this, and I think George Lucas said no. And so they were like, all right, screw it. He's Indiana Jones then. And that's why he's got like more Indiana Jones looking.
I see that. That's a really good reference. I didn't know that. I honestly only see Han Solo when I see him. I don't see Indiana Jones, but I get now looking at it, it kind of feels obvious. So yeah, at least we're going to get 3 really major stars, but 40 years after it. And some of these guys were kind of old when they did this, and they weren't young guys. Bill Pullman.
Last thing I saw him in was the second Independence Day.
Oh, we don't talk about the second Independence Day. What a dumpster fire
There
that
wasn't
was.
the second
There was not. There's only one. Dude, his speech in the first one is still one of the most iconic speeches in like cinema.
Oh yeah.
I can't see him without thinking of that speech, to be honest. We'll jump back to the article real quick though and keep it going. Casting news, we got those confirmed. We have Keke Palmer as Nope has been cast.
She was in Nope.
Okay, thank you so much for clarifying that. The Space Winnebago driving Schwartzwheeler is Bill Pullman, obviously. Lewis Pullman, Top Gun Maverick, will be joining his father in an undisclosed role. The big news to many fans that Rick Moranis will be returning as Dark Helmet. So it looks like there was some announcements back and forth kind of when this article was written.
Yeah, they should have Palmer play like a black version of Rey and just spoof on Rey the entire time and call her Mary Sue. Like that's her name in the movie.
Yeah.
That'd be good.
That would be. We have a little bit further down. It looks like they just keep going through a few more references, and they're talking about pretty much the cast history of some of their other roles they've played, and a little bit of biography details there. So Deadline reports Spaceballs 2, The Schwartz Awakens, has been described as a non-prequel, non-reboot sequel, part 2, with reboot elements franchise expansion film.
Oh, fuck.
What an amazing... Dude, that should be like... You know how you have the title, and then you have this, like, kind of the secondary title? They should make this the third title. Like, just the descriptor below the descriptor. I just love that they're playing with this fun shit and making fun of all of this stuff.
Side note, Bill Pullman's son, Lewis Pullman, is Bob/the Void in Thunderbolts.
Oh, okay. I know who that is now, but I should probably pull that up for just so the audience can see it. What was
Lewis Pullman?
If I can autism here. So we got Lewis Pullman. Yeah, so this is our guy. Dude, I think he's pretty dang good. I don't know if I've seen him in a lot of other stuff though. Do you know what else he might be from? I think I saw him maybe in a war movie.
Yeah, he also plays a guy named Bob in a war movie.
Does he only play guys named Bob?
Yeah, I don't know his filmography that well. He's recognizable where I've obviously seen him in shit, but...
Well, as we're talking about him, I wanted the audience who's listening along to be able to at least recognize...
Know who the hell we're talking about?
Well, if I struggle, I sometimes assume others will, but maybe the audience is just ahead of me on that.
It's just you.
Right, so by people who have not seen... the script yet. Josh Greenbaum Strays is directing based off a screenplay from Josh Gad and the writing team of Benji Sammet and Dan Hernandez. That's Detective Pikachu and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem. Dude, okay.
Does that instill a lot of faith?
Detective Pikachu was successful relative to like what we were kind of deserving of a Pokemon film. Like I think people wanted Pokemon. I think people wanted more Pokemon content, and they got it. I didn't care for it that much, but doesn't mean that other people didn't. Ryan Reynolds was pretty funny in it.
I didn't watch it.
Right. But I would say the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, you immediately lose that guy. No need.
Mutant Mayhem. Is that the second one of the live action?
Oh, we got Randy saying no need. No, I need to see the face to know who it is. Also, yeah, suck it, Cody. The chat's on my side. IW, you lose.
Sorry, that's my autism.
Get wrecked, nerd. Previously, Josh Gad worked with Mel Brooks on the divisive. Holy smokes. Why are they writing this article this way? How many long titles and like commas and like parentheses are they going to write? If I just read it word for word, is that going to make more sense? Oh.
No, you can skip the parentheses.
All right. Previously, Josh Gad worked with Mel Brooks on the divisive History of the World Part 2, where he played Shakespeare. He is also announced to star with Rick Moranis in the upcoming Shrunk.
They doing a freaking Honey I Shrunk the Kids kind of thing too?
A new entry to the Honey I Shrunk the Kids series that will be directed by Joe Johnston. Holy smokes, dude! They're making. They're digging a little bit deeper into the cupboard on this one a little bit because
you got Shrunk, you got Spaceballs 2, you got the Gremlins, you got
Goonies sequel.
You got a whole bunch of shit coming out.
Dude,
way back in the day.
Well, okay, so they made all the reboots of basically franchises that I cared about and loved, and then now they're moving on to the movies and films that my parents showed me when they grew up loving them 40 years ago. You know, I think
so. We've gone past the nostalgia for the millennials. We're going for nostalgia on Gen X now.
Do you think we're going to get like a legitimate Hamlet 2? Like
a Hamlet 2 too?
Well, okay, so again, for the audience, I'm going to do them a favor of just pulling this one up. But if you have not seen it, I'm going to spell it wrong. Hamlet.
It's an E.
Thank you. 2. All right, so Hamlet 2 is a sequel to what the hell? Just give me the movie. Are you
go Hamlet 2? Yeah, there you go.
Hamlet 2 Electric Boogaloo? Duh fudge. What is going on? All right, Hamlet 2, just pull up the all. Oh, yuck. Okay, Hamlet 2. Wow, that feels...
It still does. All right, it's the top left.
The internet really wants this movie to die. But if you have not seen Hamlet 2, it is such a gift. It is a dumb comedy. It's I think it's directed and starred by... God damn it. If there were more pictures here, I'd probably have an easier time. Maybe I just go to IMDb for it. That might be easier. Okay, yeah. So Hamlet 2, it's from 2008. We got the director Andrew Fleming.
Steve Coogan is the guy that stars in it.
Yeah, it's absolutely freaking hilarious. I loved this movie. I think you guys hopefully would love this movie. It's a really good 2008 classic comedy where they're just making fun of everything that they possibly can.
It confused me as a kid because there's no Hamlet 1.
Right.
It's just the Hamlet 2.
Yeah, so as you're a kid in 2008, you pull open, you grab the VHS tape or the DVD, and you try to put this on. You're looking for what was the original film. Yeah, so the movie's just a fun comedy. Hope you guys will check it out and enjoy it. It's rare that I get to hard recommend this one, but if they actually make this sequel, if they make a Hamlet 2 Electric Boogaloo, I would be so on board for that. You couldn't get me to stop. Coogan is hilarious. I'll have to check this one out. Yeah, hope you enjoy it.
Let's go with all the nostalgia. I want A Knight's Tale too.
Yeah, you got to comment back at us. Let us know what you thought of it. If you do check it out. But Honey I Shrunk the Kids is such a deep dive. But you already listed off the movies I'm thinking about where you're going back to the 80s and 90s and some of the older films, and you're pulling a lot of rabbits out of your hat. And we all know why. It's because modern Hollywood cannot create anything original or brand new.
Well, that's what they were making fun of with the title crawl here.
Yeah.
With the Spaceballs 2 announcement. How many sequels and prequels and...
Yeah, it's insane. You have all of this list of nonsense. I mean, Dune is probably the last, like, attempt at a new reattempting a franchise that was actually worth it. But now I'm thinking even Dune is a like a reboot because they did
one in the 80s.
Yeah,
that failed horribly.
Yeah, and you know I mean, if something failed, you probably want to take a chance at it again. Mortal Kombat did it. Dungeons & Dragons did it. Mario did it. And now you have and then you have Dune. So I mean, each of them took a crack at it. I think the only one that really failed was probably Mortal Kombat. But Mario,
the new ones, yeah,
the reboots. But so Mortal Kombat fails, Dune succeeds. What were some of the other ones? Mario, obviously huge blockbuster, going to be a new universe basically.
You don't like the original one with John Leguizamo and what's his
the
face?
7 foot tall plumbers in real IR, the 7 foot tall live action plumbers who play Mario and Luigi. I
gotta watch that movie.
I was young when I was like a kid, like a toddler. Like I was a youngling when I watched it, and it was just on in the background. I don't even know what I was watching. I was a youngling. Yes, exactly. All right.
Killed all the younglings.
We got one more story to cover. We'll finish up this article by saying Rick Moranis returning for Spaceballs 2, sequel hyped by Mel Brooks, but is still being written by Josh Gad. A little bit concerning that Josh is going to be the one leading the project, but, you know, I really have not been paying enough attention to Rick Moranis or some of the other casts that have been confirmed here to know if this movie is really going to be, if it's going to be a shell of its former self, or if it's actually going to give us back some of the nostalgia we're at least hoping for we're going to get from this movie. If you're going to do a reboot of Spaceballs 2, you do it fucking right. You don't botch this one.
Well, after 40 years of thinking about it, hopefully you got a good idea.
Fair enough. All right. The article written from that, or given to us from That Park Place and written by Martin Stone. Great article. Appreciate the detail. Next time, include photos of the people you're referencing back to. Help us out a little bit, but great article. Thank you so much. Let's move on to our next story. The next story we're going to be covering, John Wick, female-led spin-off Ballerina, flops in opening weekend box office as women skip another for-her action film. All right.
You know what's funny about this?
Oh, so much.
It takes place...
It's a prequel, right?
So it's a... putting a woman lead into a male-dominated franchise that flops on its opening box office weekend.
What?
A year ago, they did the same thing with Mad Max Furiosa.
Oh, I
And that
forgot.
also flopped.
Terminator, Star Wars.
Terminator's been doing that forever.
Well, yeah.
But I'm saying this is almost exactly a year. It's like a couple days since the last one that failed miserably.
You know, not to derail, I do need to immediately retract my Terminator comment because it started with a female lead action character, and Sarah Connor was
True.
pretty epic. Like OG Sarah Connor, not the
Not Emilia Clarke or the other ones after that.
Yeah, the female Terminator, who was just a girl, but like, screw it, I'm not into it. Don't forget Ghostbusters. Yes, Ghostbusters. Now think reboot.
Was
Yeah.
that Ocean's 8.
Oh, gross. Yeah, they're obviously less. What do you think that was a deep take at getting 70 cents on the dollar for reference for
We can't afford 11.
comparing Ocean's 11 to Ocean's 8? They got 70 cents on the number. Some deep take into feminist mumbo jumbo.
It's because half of them couldn't get along.
Oh, dude, classic. So what's your take on the article headline? I mean, this is not a review. We haven't seen this film. I don't want to throw out any shit bashing on the movie itself outside of, you know, the basic stuff I've seen. Feel free to do that, Cody, in chat. Feel free to shit on this movie as much as you want. But
I can tell you why it's not doing good.
let's start there.
Because it's not a John Wick movie. Keanu's not in it. Keanu is a movie star where people actually go and see.
Right. Yeah, Keanu, yeah.
These movies or shows that take place in the world of John Wick, no one really gives a shit about.
Do you think, so just as a little bit side question, do you think Keanu Reeves gets lucky with some of these major roles he gets, or do you think this is genuinely a love for Keanu Reeves? I'm thinking, like, look back to Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
Well, I mean, no one's like, remember the lake house?
Right.
He was in that. No one gives a fuck about that.
Well,
No, it's a good IP.
It's for a specific-
good IP
for-
with Keanu in it.
well, but then you have, like, The Matrix, right? Like, is Keanu Reeves like a just game-breakingly awesome, like, actor in The Matrix, or is The Matrix universe just that?
I wouldn't say Keanu Reeves is like an amazing actor.
That's what, like, he's kind of
He's described as like the everyman.
fair.
Almost.
Yeah. And I don't like I like Keanu as an actor. I think he is fun to watch. I do enjoy his films and I do enjoy his presence on screen. But we're just trying to be academic and be like we're just trying to be fair on both sides of this. So my question is kind of like, could almost every role that Keanu's been in be filled with someone else? Is Keanu kind of just like a blank slate?
Well, no, because now he is those characters that have become so iconic. He is Neo. He is John Wick.
Mm-hmm. And
He
so
is
can't
Bill
even.
or Ted from Bill and Ted's. I've never watched those, but
I can't remember. I don't remember which one he is either. But yes, to your point. So you're right. He does embody them really well. 'Cause you're right. You can't even see Keanu Reeves without wanting to call him John Wick now.
right.
And we all love him. We miss his dog. He's a good puppers. So we got the Ballerina spinoff. And first off, I don't think anyone was really excited about the Continental. I don't think there was any. I don't understand.
Most people don't even know what you're talking about. I had to be reminded of it.
Right. I should pull that up then. So the Continental was a spinoff
Was it on HBO?
It should publish here. So let me just see. So, The Continental 2020 or
Cock.
2023 TV miniseries, New York in 1970s New York. A young Winston Scott recruits a team to confront a vast conspiracy sparked by his brother's attack on the Hotel of Assassins, The Continental. So I'm trying to see if I can find which.
It was on Peacock.
You saw that? Okay. So confirmed on Peacock by the Cody. Yeah. So we got, yeah, okay. So The Continental. No, I don't think there was so much demand for this because Winston wasn't even a character. I think like he's kind of a good character in the original movies, but I don't know. It doesn't seem like you need to grab all of these background characters and tell more stories and keep going with it.
Well, yeah, like didn't they do a show with Alfred from Batman and do like his early days? I know they did one with Commissioner Gordon.
Right.
The Gotham.
Yep.
Which some people like, some people hate. It's kind of a meh show.
I liked it until it kept going. So I originally liked the first season and even the second season. The issue was they kept bringing back, they did that thing, like that soap opera thing where it's like, it's his evil twin. It's evil twin who, like, I'm having his baby, but it's actually his baby. And then it comes out the wrong race, so it's their baby.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, they did. I hate the CW. I hate all of these, like, low budget like channels that just keep putting out absolute Superman and all this like just low quality garbage. Look, I understand, like, even to some of our audience, I might be in, like, this might be an unpopular take, but I think the Arrowverse I think that almost everything that's come out on CW is absolute garbage. I think it's low budget, low effort, trash, episodic nonsense that doesn't reference back to the original canon nearly as well as it should be. I can't stand it.
I've tried watching a couple of them and I'm like, nope, they're all kind of retarded.
Yeah.
I think the best one is Superman and Lois, like the last DC one they did.
Yep.
That
Well,
one's all right.
People keep saying that to me too, but it's honestly, in all fairness, you're not going to get me to try those. I'm not going to put them on.
Too much other content to watch.
Yeah, you could tell me. Every person I trust could say, go check out this Superman show from the CW. It's their breakout success. It's the best thing they've ever put out. And I would just hard fuck off. No, I'm not going to go watch another Superman project. I'm not interested. I do not care.
You do not like Superman.
I don't. I think Superman is a horrible character. I don't think it's fun or enjoyable to watch a flawless being fly around screen and just win everything he does. There's no emotional journey that I can follow with Superman. Maybe the Injustice version is kind of like a redeeming idea, but or like a corruption idea, but then it becomes more of a Batman story. And I'm just so over Superman. I'm so sick of him. What a piece of shit character. And it's like what everyone gravitates to. The reason DC keeps failing is because every universe is centered around the wrong fucking hero. You need to find a more median hero so you can grab the characters who have no powers.
I want to say that's the reason.
Well, okay, fair point. There's many reasons, but I think the big one is that they keep starting the franchise around the wrong fucking character. Yeah, that's what I think. I think you need Christopher Nolan's universe. I'm kidding. That would be horrible, I think, for a big franchise. You could never put a Superman in that universe and have it work. But so back to like the ballerina and the Continental.
Well, talks digresses.
Well, my point is basically that no one was really asking for some of these spin-off shows, and it seems pretty commonplace for a studio to milk a franchise like absolutely dry to the bone. And I mean, it's what.
Well, when it comes to John Wick, it's like I don't really remember 2 or 3 at all.
Fair enough. I think
I remember 1 is obviously the greatest.
Yes. Yep. Which is weird because
2 and 3 seemed like they were getting really dumb. And then 4, he's basically a superhero. But I still would say that's the second best one.
No, I actually agree with your take on that entirely. Restating it, it's 1 is the best. 4 concludes really well. I really like how 4 concludes the John Wick story. And then I would say, 3 I thought was really bad. I thought that was going to kill the franchise.
Is that the one with Halle Berry?
I think so. She's got like these
dogs.
She's got like these attack dogs. At least in number 2, you had him dealing with the kind of sewer king or whatever, the rat king or whatever. You know the actor I'm talking about. I cannot remember his name.
To look it up.
But 2 at least has some stuff going on where you have kind of this idea of him trying to find a way back in or trying to settle things up, but then it's a whole debacle, and they're all trying to kill him. He's got nowhere to hide. His money talks. But franchise-wise, John Wick, it's kind of gonna... This is going to be exactly what the Broccoli family was worried about with James Bond, where you're going to get a fatigue, you're going to get burned out, and you're not going to be at all concerned about the quality of your IP anymore.
It's just going to be a bunch of spin-offs. It's going to get oversaturated on Prime. It's going to be like a different show every year. It's like in the James Bond universe.
Well, and this is a story that we're not going to probably cover today, but I just wanted to bring it up as a reference. So the other day, it broke out that Warner Brothers Discovery is splitting into two separate companies, and one of them is going to be Warner Brothers, basically the streaming and the content version of the company, and the other one's going to be like the TV channels and like the like entertainment side of things with just the TV channels. So, and like CNN,
So like Discovery, Cartoon Network, shit like that.
yeah, CNN. I want to see if we can just dive a little deeper. Yeah, so one of the streaming and the studios arms of Warner Brothers Pictures, and then Warner Brothers Television, HBO Max streaming platform. And then you have the global networks business, which will retain CNN, TNT, Sports, Discovery, TBS, other networks. Yeah. So the point I was raising...
That's so frustrating. One quick second. On
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
It's so frustrating because, like, okay, now it's going to be split up. And how does that affect my bundle on streaming services now that HBO is bundled in? Is it going to split? Do I pay less? Do I pay more? Am I getting both? Am I only getting one? Can I choose one over another one?
Well, the idea here is that they're dividing what they believe. They're selling this as we are cutting we're strategizing and like re-implementing strategies to kind of diversify and spread things out. But really, you're taking all of the IPs that you own and cutting them off from like the other brands that are kind of like the TV channels that are kind of toxic, like the political, like CNN and some of the other IPs you own, or some of the other channels and stuff you own. So splitting them off makes a lot of sense. But I'm trying to remember how I was going to tie that back to the John Wick story. Basically, I'm pretty sure my point was going to be something along the lines of, if you're going to have all of these IPs and you're going to like just milk them absolutely dry, it's not going to turn out well in your favor, and you're going to have to split your companies up in order to avoid bankruptcy and having to sell off your IPs. But getting rid of CNN and some of those other channels to protect all these IPs you still do not plan on doing anything great with.
Yeah, it's a big clusterfuck.
Well, I think we can probably jump into the article. Lionsgate may have tried to choreograph this conversation around Ballerina in its female-led John Wick spinoff, but the box office didn't follow the studio's lead. After weeks of promotional buildup and early embargo controversy, the first John Wick spinoff has stumbled out of the gate with a disappointing $25 million domestic opening. That figure places Ballerina second at the box office for the week and marks the lowest debut in the Wick universe since the original film's modest launch in 2014. So, the Continental was the first spinoff. So, am I missing something there? Like,
Continental was just TV show, so we're talking
spinoff film. Okay, maybe they're being they might be being specific. But yeah, the 25 million, it technically beats out the first movie. I mean, well, it literally beats out the first movie, but
well, I mean, does it account for inflation though?
It doesn't. And over 10 years, or a little over 10 years,
there's been a lot of inflation in 10 years.
There has been a bunch, and it wasn't like it was miles away. Let me see if they have the numbers in here. I don't see the numbers, so we'll probably come up with that a little bit later. But yeah, so it's got off to a bad start. We can kind of look over to Rotten Tomatoes and to Ballerina. Again, this isn't a review, so we're not going to be trying to get into it. But out of the gate, the reviews are kind of mixed. So over on Rotten Tomatoes, the critic reviews are having it at 76%, while the audience score has it at a 93%.
Which is odd.
That is incredibly weird, considering the low number of the low participation at the box office. And then you go over to Metacritic, and the numbers start to make a little bit more sense, with the average mixed score being 59 and the general favorability user score being 6.4. So there's a big divide between these two numbers that kind of needs to be spoken to. We're going to need some answers on this one. Honestly, I don't think we're going to...
And an IMDb, you got 7.3, so...
Yeah, yeah, you have it.
So it goes from 97 to 60.
Yeah, it's chaotic. These numbers will probably all balance out to a point. We've really kind of leaned into trusting Metacritic a little bit more than Rotten Tomatoes lately, but
And it's only been a couple days.
it's been very, very little time, so the movie will have more opportunity to get more opportunity to get answers out to these questions about like why it's underperforming. Is it because it's bad, or is it because it's a female action film, or is it because fatigue around, I don't think it's this one, but just another example, could it be fatigue around the John Wick stories? Is it more that people just do not like Spaceballs? I mean, all these things are possible.
Well, when's the last female-led action movie been successful?
The 80s.
I was gonna say,
Well, I mean,
90s maybe.
well, yeah, I think, okay, so I'm referencing back to, I think the best female-led action films are probably the iconic, like, film legends of, like, Alien and Aliens. It was Sigourney Weaver being one of the best female-led action stars.
Terminator.
Well, and even Terminator, the action mainly comes from Kyle Reese's character.
And the second one.
Yeah, in the second one, then you have her more of a badass. But again, the main character is John. So I mean, Sarah.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's led.
Right. So I think the reason I didn't jump to Terminator right away was it felt like a category error. But you're not wrong that Sarah Connor's a badass. But I think the female-led action genre is probably dominated, and the queen is probably Sigourney Weaver. I'm pretty sure. I'm struggling to come up with an. Oh, you know what? Rey from Star Wars.
Oh, yeah. Of course.
How did I forget about Rey from Star Wars? The single best.
Oh, I can't spell.
Yeah, there hasn't been a good one in a long time, but that's because Hollywood doesn't know how to write female characters. They only know how
Well,
to.
in this one, they actually, where female action stars are just badass and they kick the shit out of people that weigh 150 pounds more than them. And this one, they actually acknowledge it's like, hey, you got to fight like a girl. So there's a lot of nut shots in this.
Yeah, good.
And it's like dirty fighting, which makes more sense.
Bring out the ball kicking machine. You could say ScarJo in Black Widow.
Wonder Woman, maybe.
Wonder Woman. Gal Gadot had her own movie and sequel, so I guess that would probably be one of the more recent ones. I'm sure I just don't care about any of these movies, or none of them impressed me, but there's probably more. We really got oversaturated, so maybe there's an abundance, and I'm just like blanking on all of them because they all just feel so meh. Oh, Barbie.
Kill Bill.
Yep, that's
Kill Bill 1 and 2.
solid one. God, I felt
That's all I got.
when you said Kill Bill, I really felt like the door was going to open there for me to come up with more ideas, and then just dry cough. Yeah. And here's the real kicker. Female audience didn't show up again. Despite Ballerina starring Ande Armas in a role specifically designed to expand John Wick world with a female lead, audience tracking from Post-Track shows that 63% of opening weekend moviegoers were male. This mirrors a recurring trend for action-heavy franchises that try to pivot toward female-centric storytelling without truly connecting with the female audience.
Well, how do you get that number?
I
don't remember ever clicking what gender I am when I purchase tickets.
But that's because I purchase all the tickets. That's because
And I put other every time.
they them. No, that's a good point. I mean, you might just be standing out inside of theaters. None of them can match Tomb Raider. Has there? Okay, fair question, Randy. Has there been
Angelina Jolie as Tomb Raider?
Okay, was that even okay?
I haven't watched them, but yes, they are.
Okay,
culturally
fair enough. None of them can match. I would still put Sigourney Weaver up against Jolie again in Tomb Raider. Maybe I'm backing the wrong horse there, but I don't think I am.
I mean, you got Everything Everywhere All at Once that came out a few years ago. It was all right.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it got nominated for shit, but like
the article continues, like, the Marvels was a recent high profile example. Marketed as a big moment for women in the MCU, that film also skewed male in audience composition, even more so than male-led superhero films. The promised demo simply didn't respond, and now Ballerina appears to be facing similar reality.
Well, it's because you're trying to make boy brands into girl brands.
Well,
and it just never works.
Okay, so I want to dig into that. I want to dig into that idea a little more. So, like, one of the main criticisms I've had with most female characters that they've been putting out into Hollywood lately is that they are, if you listen to like,
They exhibit all the quote unquote toxic male traits.
exactly, you just take all the toxic male traits that you like say you hate, and you tell your female actresses to lean into those ideas, and that's where you're going to go. That's what we want to see on screen. And now every girl boss is an absolute asshole with resting bitch face who is just completely unlikable.
Yeah.
I mean,
There's nothing. She's excellent at everything, blah, blah, blah. And the only character development throughout the movie or show is that everyone else has to realize how excellent she is.
well, and that's why is that lacking? It feels like character development is like the one thing that every writer should know at a minimum. And yet
But if
Hollywood,
you're going to make a girl boss, she has to be awesome from the get-go.
well, that's definitely their thought process for sure. My frustration is that how can a person be a writer or how can a person be a writer and just completely dismiss the idea that a character needs development in order to be an enjoyable story? Like, there's not
The writers are coming straight out from college. And you know
straight
what
out of
happens-
college.
And you know
Sorry,
what happens
sorry, I
in
had to.
college?
Oh yeah, bullying.
In college?
I don't know,
I think
maybe.
it's just like gay daycare, really.
Oh, expensive gay daycare.
A very expensive gay daycare.
All right, that's not to say that women don't go to movies. They absolutely do. When the content resonates, Barbie proved that beyond a shadow of a doubt, grossing over $1 billion worldwide and becoming a pop culture phenomenon. That film didn't just feature a female lead; it spoke directly to its audience through an IP designed for them. Yeah, but oh my God,
It's a girl brand.
but they abolished girl brands. Like, they got rid of girl brands. Like, the Barbie was sexist, and well, like, body positivity was toxic, and
Oh, yeah.
like they got rid of all of that.
Unattainable beauty.
Yeah, exactly. It's like Barbie was like a patriarchal like attack on women, and why can't boys have Barbies, and why don't they have chubby Barbie? It's like, they got rid of it. Like, the reason I think that a lot of women maybe gravitated towards it was because, yes, it was an IP that they all grew up loving. Like, a lot of my friends went because they grew up playing with Barbies.
I think they went for half-naked Ryan Gosling. That's the majority of the women that went.
Interesting take. Is that why you went? I'm just kidding.
I
You did.
haven't seen it.
I don't believe you. That feels like the kind of movie.
I went to Oppenheimer instead.
Oppenheimer was awesome. I did love Oppenheimer. I guess I was very surprised that Oppenheimer got its ass whooped by Barbie. No, it didn't
I won't say what you got. Just ask what.
Well, it was objectively defeated by Barbie.
Well, yeah, it's a 3-hour rated R biopic on a dude that created a bomb.
Now you're just...
And it almost made $1 billion. That's insane.
It did awesome. But my point stands that it was beat by Barbie. That was my only point. Not that the movie was bad or didn't do a good job. It just was, yes, Barbie creamed it. And I was surprised. I wasn't expecting women...
I'm not surprised. It's the world we live in.
I was surprised because
Fast and Furious still
I
makes money.
wasn't expecting women to show up in droves for Barbie. I was expecting it to kind of be a mixed bag, but I really was not expecting it to have a total victory over
It was
Oppenheimer.
yeah. I mean, it was the memes and the marketing, the Barbenheimer.
Yeah, what a great year. What a great...
It was like when Doom and Animal Crossing linked up. Two completely opposite things.
We got Randy saying Ryan Gosling carried the film comedically in Barbie. Really?
Yeah, everyone loved him in that movie.
No, I mean,
That's why he won an award for that song, I'm Just Ken or whatever the hell it is.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, classic Ryan Gosling. With Ballerina, Lionsgate hoped to capitalize on the goodwill and brand equity of the John Wick franchise, which has seen its box office grow with each installment, but the spinoff opened far below projections. Initial tracking had the film opening north of 35 million. That expectation was later adjusted down to 30, heading into release weekend. Even then, Ballerina underperformed to, what was it? What did we say?
Like 25,
25?
25, 26.
Yeah, I thought it was 8, like, where the hell did the number go? 25. Yeah, so thank you. Yeah, so 25 million against the 30 million that it was adjusted for. I mean, that feels closer. The original John Wick opened as a brand new, untested IP. That part's very important. To 14.4 million in 2014.
And I didn't hear anything about the movie till it was already out
yeah,
on like DVD.
I must have watched that movie 100 times after it came out, like on DVD or on DVD and on streaming. I everyone loved that movie once it was out, but I mean, this is the best case argument for why people today need physical media, because you won't get new IPs or new projects without it, because John Wick doesn't go anywhere if this is how it performs without physical media. John Wick as an idea dies in the modern day. So like 2026, a new IP comes out and it does less than 20 or 30 million.
There's a Matt Damon interview where he's explaining the importance of physical media and how, like, I think Good Will Hunting would have been a huge bomb, but it became a classic and whatnot through physical media. And that's how it made all of its money.
Constantine too.
Clerks from Kevin Smith, shit like that.
So this is one of the best case arguments for why physical media needs to have some. I don't know if there's a market for it. So that's the issue.
No, it's dead and gone. It's not coming back. Everything's online.
I'm making it like a should, not a will. Like I'm not. This isn't my this is just kind of. This isn't my prescription. It's more just my observation that there is a value. There was a value to having physical media, and now the reason we're getting so many reboots and the reason studios are not taking chances is because they don't have to. They own all the IPs that people are like. They own all the IPs, and they're just going to keep milking them until they're dry. But
and then it's just going to go on their streaming service, and they think that's going to get them subscribers.
So there has to be some alternative. They need to find some alternative market, something else outside of the theater experience that people will gravitate to offset how well a movie will or won't do in the theaters. But we'll never get another cult classic because you can't have it. Like, categorically, you get a cult classic from a movie that doesn't do well in the box office, but then later becomes significant and financially rewarding, and people find their love into it. But if there's no afterthought besides streaming, you're never going to have it again. So the timeline continues. Chapter 2 got 30 million opening and in 2017. Chapter 3, 56.8 million in 2019. And Chapter 4, which 2023, so that wasn't that long ago, we got 73.8 million opening. That's kind of an epic opening. That's kind of like, I think that's a pretty damn good number to have 73 on opening.
Well, yeah, and it's also marketed as, it's the final chapter.
Absolutely. Supposedly, John Wick died. Spoiler. So, critically, the film fared well with viewers. It earned an A- cinema score and boasts 94 on Rotten Tomatoes. And we just looked at that number. It had adjusted down to 93. Again, we can't possibly assume that this is a reasonable number based on just how few have come in. And you probably have a lot of like box office, or what is it? What's the term for it? Brigading? For negative, review bombing. You're supposed to help me with this a little, at least a little here, man.
I missed the sentence before.
Oh, okay. So if they, so Randy says if they made a Scarlet Witch movie, I think it could have done well.
They made a Scarlet Witch show, and it was the most popular MCU show, but
right. Well, didn't Loki beat out Scarlet?
Yeah, you're right. Loki was up there, but there was like a decline in returns for each MCU show that came out.
Right, and I don't know if it's just because you don't have a current like lead in the universe. You had so much charisma behind Evans and RDJ that now you have basically no one leading it. You could maybe make the case that Benedict Cumberbatch as Doctor Strange should be leading it, but they're really not setting him up for success with the movies they're giving him. Or the stories they're allowing it to happen. Her powers are no physical, which is more believable. That's fair, yeah. Okay, so 94% Rotten Tomatoes, indicating those who did show up enjoyed it. And thanks to foreign sales, Lionsgate reportedly covered a sizable chunk of the film's $90 million projected budget, but soft domestic turnout still represents a problem for the studio that had been positioned the Wick universe as a long-term franchise play. Yeah, if they're trying to find someone who can run this franchise in the long term, this is probably not the best they could have done.
No, I mean, we'll see when it comes to worldwide, because like the Fast and Furious movies that I hate so much, they are profitable because of the worldwide box office, not domestic.
Right. The reality is that Ballerina entered a crowded market already jammed with high-profile action films, including Mission Impossible: Final Reckoning, which is holding well into its third week. Throw in family fare like Lilo and Stitch, and this doesn't even mention How to Train Your Dragon, which was
That just dropped.
yeah, it just dropped, so it was direct competition for it. Studios continue to chase the elusive goal of a four-quadrant blockbuster while trying to retrofit male-driven franchises into new vehicles for female leads. And once again, the studio seems to have mistaken marketing intent for market demand. Yeah, no one's asking for this. I mean, you can create the film and you can say you're giving it to us, but no one's asking for more of these franchise spin-offs or anything like that.
Yeah, I mean, the movie doesn't have all the hallmarks of like the female action movie where she's just always a badass Mary Sue. So, I mean, it has that going for it. It's just still like, I don't really care to see it.
No, I mean,
I don't even think I'll see it on streaming. So.
Is there any film coming up in the near future or in the first, let's say 2025, early 2026 calendar that you are actually looking forward to seeing? Or seeing?
Seeing?
Yeah, past, present, and future. Seeing it.
I'm more curious about movies than excited about anything.
I think that's probably a pretty milquetoast take on it, because I think that's
the thing I would be
fair.
closest to excited to see would be the next Avatar, but I know the story's just going to be meh.
Right.
It's more the world building and stuff that's cool in Avatar.
I haven't heard much about where it's at,
It's
but
the Ash people.
a Dune,
They're on a volcano.
a third installment of the Dune franchise I would be looking forward to, but I haven't heard.
Next year, yeah.
It is next year. Okay, I hadn't heard too much about it.
Was it the Children of Doom?
Ooh, could be. I wonder where. I'm just very curious about where the timeline goes. But the Dune sequel did not perform as well as the first one, but I thought was better.
Surprising.
I thought the Dune sequel was better. I thought a lot more happened in it. I thought it was.
Dune Messiah is the next one.
Yeah, I thought the Dune sequel was a lot better than the first one, but it didn't perform as well, so that's a little frustrating. But
I like them. Like, people do have their preferences. Like a lot of people in the nerd sphere like the first one more, but I see them both as a one film, really.
you do?
Yeah, they're basically it's a direct continuation. It's not like it's hard to separate.
Oh, okay. I see what you were saying.
They're together. It's like the Lord of the Rings. It's all one film. Even though I would say Fellowship is my favorite, but
Really, Fellowship is not my favorite. I think it's great, but there's no major battles in the original or in the Fellowship. I mean, it's kind of like small skirmishes and stuff. Oh man, I guess you could say Gandalf and you could say Boromir. I mean, there's a few things.
well, Boromir is my favorite character in it.
Okay.
So there is a little bias there.
Fair enough. That makes plenty more sense. And the way they wrote him in, they did, I thought, pretty fair by him. All right, guys, we are going to wrap up there. John Wick, female-led spin-off Ballerina, flops in opening weekend box office as women skipped another for her action film. Girls, if they're going to make movies for you, can you at least do us a favor and go watch them so that at least it's not a waste of time?
It's like the WNBA. You bitch about it all the time, but are you going to it?
Yeah, please go see these goddamn movies so that at least we're not like struggling to understand why they're doing it. At least prove them right, for fuck's sake.
They have people betting on WNBA players not making the first shot at the game.
Oh my god, you could bet on some female NBA player or WNBA players not making any shots in the game. Would be a fair bet. But okay, so the article given to us from That Park Place and written by Marvin Montanaro. Thank you so much for the article. Really appreciate the extra detail and the facts around the original John Wick films. And so we are going to wrap it up there. Guys, if you haven't already, please consider subscribing. Again, it's free. It's the best way to show your support for the channel and for what we do. We have a lot of projects in the work, and if you guys could hang out and support us, it would mean a lot for helping us get there sooner. Also, don't forget to smash that like button, share the video out there. We are hanging out with you guys in the chats when you come and hang out with us, so make sure to show up and comment and let us know what your thoughts are on the topics we're covering. As we're going through them, we'll make sure to read your stuff out and hit everything we possibly can. Guys, that's where we're going to end it. Don't forget, go tell your stories. We'll see you on the next one. Peace out.
Bye.
I tell myself that everything will end up alright. Just push yourself, test yourself, figure out what you like, and find your limits. Don't be rigid, always work towards a prime. Surround yourself with open minds, people can change your life. A few friends with intent can help you feel feel alive. Find a passion, take some action, and with a little time, just be patient, make a statement, try to enjoy your life.